Hello and welcome to Football Manager 2021 Rupel Boom or Bust. This is the big one. One of the big saves that I'm going to be doing for Football Manager 21 is upon us. We are going to be in charge of Rupel Boom, a small side from one of just the outskirts of Antwerp in Belgium. They are down in the 3rd division of Belgian football, but the plan is they're not going to be there forever. What we're going to try and do with this Rupel Boom side is turn them into the best team in Belgium. Make them produce the best youth players in Belgium, maybe even Europe, possibly even win a Champions League. That one's a stretch, but we might give it a go anyway. Basically, the sky is the limit for this Rupel Boom side. And before I get too much further into this episode, if you are going to be looking forward to this save, do remember, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell as well so you get notified whenever a new video is released. The plan is to try and get maybe a season done over the space of 2 weeks. So if you think between now and, I don't know, maybe August, how many weeks are there between now and August next year? Half that. That's how many seasons we should be getting done. That's the plan. We might have some slightly longer seasons depending on if we get far in Europe, basically. Look at me, thinking we're getting to Europe. Anyway, let's get on with the save. So here we are then, Rupel Boom FC. Apparently, they were founded in 1934. Now, I'm not sure whether that is accurate. I think there were 2 teams. There was Boom and Rupel, and they were combined to make Rupel Boom. So they're actually relatively new. I think sort of early 2000s is when they were officially formed. But yeah, this is our team. We are semi-professional, but I think a lot of that is actually down to the league system that we currently play. And we're in the National 1 division, which is an amateur league, I believe. There are 15 sides in it. You're going to love this. You're going to absolutely love this. The season preview, we are expected to finish 12th. We're not even one of the best sides in the league. We are probably going to be... The plan is we want to get out of this division as soon as possible. And in order to do that, we just need to finish in the top 4 and then win this playoff thing. We don't need to win the league, which is good news because I don't think we're going to be good enough to do that anytime soon. I think, but I'm not sure, but I don't think there's too many rules when it comes to sort of loans and stuff like that. So we are going to have to utilise loan players. That needs to be something we're going to be trying to do. It says about loaning out players, but not about loaning in players. And the squad registration is a minimum of 7 players on part-time contract or better. We might even be able to play trialists, because it doesn't say we can't. Does it? I mean, maybe, can we? No trialists. Okay, we can't play trialists. Now, I have already gone through the squad, had a look at what we need to strengthen, and basically what we need to try and sell. One thing I have done, which I was debating whether it be a good idea or a bad idea to do, I have included players at playable clubs, which means we've basically had our youth team filled with half-decent footballers. And by half-decent, they're not very good. So you're never going to get a world-class player as part of this. I think the highest potential might be 130. But yeah, we've basically got a whole bunch of under-18s. We've got a whole bunch of under-21s as well. All of them sort of 15, 16 years old. Some of them I have called up to the first team. There is 2 here. Boris Leemans and Fred Ndongla have been called up. Ndongla, more because we don't have a lot of centre-backs. I literally haven't even read the news, but I've put in a bunch of offers for players on loan as well, which we'll find out in this episode if they come through. We have 0 transfer budget, we have 0 wage budget, so the players that I'm getting in on loan need to cost nothing because we can't afford to pay anybody. We've also got a lot of players whose contracts are expiring, which is not ideal. This man here, Luca Polizzi, is our best player by a fair distance in my opinion. The system that I'm looking to play is basically going to utilise him as an inverted winger on that left-hand side. So he's kind of just going to play into Polizzi's hands and say, look, you're the best player on our team. Do football, do well, win games. That's what we want you to do. He's obviously not the only good player. We have this man as well, Jarek Scharsens, who's going to be a central midfielder. Actually isn't terrible mentally. He's got some very good stats in determination, leadership as well. Teamwork of 15. Do like the shape of Scharsens. He looks pretty good. We also have Bernardino, there you go, nice and easy name actually. He is not going to be a left winger, he's probably going to be our main forward, unless we get somebody else in on loan, which I'm not sure we're going to do. He's not amazing, but he's reasonably good. Like I said, we do have a bit of issues sort of in certain places. If we sort by ability, we've got some standout players, as you can see, and then we've got just garbage. We've got quite a lot of garbage. I've kind of picked a starting 11. You'll see 2 players here are my defenders, or one of them's a right back, one's a centre back. this is where we're struggling in defence. We need to get some defenders in. I also want to improve on our goalkeeper as well. Basically, we need to bring in a lot of players. Right, what do the board want us to do then? Work within the wage budget? Well, we have no real choice because we can't even go above it at the moment. 2-year contracts for first-team players, I approve of that, that's good. I normally like to throw massive contracts at anyone who joins the club anyway, so 2 years is fine. Mid-table and then top half. So they're not expecting too much progress in short succession, which is good to see. Also, we have Croquet Cup. Is that like the FA Cup? I imagine. Hold on, we can probably find this out. So the winners will qualify for the Europa League playoff. So yeah, that might be the FA Cup. I'm not sure. If we look here, can we see? It's the best Belgian Cup. That's fine. It's the FA Cup. Interestingly, our introductory advice has said use the youth facilities because they are good. Are they good? Adequate. We have good youth facilities. We have adequate recruitment, adequate academy coaching. That's a surprise. That is something I was not expecting. So that's good news. I like the look of that. Also, I completely ignored the fact that I've made my own kits. They're only 2D. I don't know how to make 3D kits, but I've made 2D kits. I would love to be able to make these into 3D kits as well. It's going to be something I'm going to probably try and do. Once I work out how to do it, then, yeah, hopefully, in matches, we might actually see my little kits that I've made. But I think they look quite smart. They're also sponsored by me. So, financially, we are not in a good position, but I assume everyone else in and around us are not in a good position either. We've got £45,000. We are literally on the limit of our wage budget. Our wage budget is going to decrease by £16 next season. So, yeah, we are kind of... We've got nothing to spend, basically. We do have, actually, in our first team, I need to find who it is, one of our players. Is it you? It's not... Well, I mean, you are wanted. I don't want to sell you. There is a player who I would definitely want to sell. Is it you? It might be you. I might be willing to sell you. He's not going to get us a lot of money. But yeah, we might need to try and look at shifting on some players. He is wanted by lots of people. Okay. Well, I put him in the first team because I think he might be all right. But yeah, we've got some players. He's another one. There you go. Matteo Sibens, who I'd quite happily sell him. £300 a week if we can get rid of him. Anyway, I am going to go forward now to possibly end of pre-season. And we're going to do some transfer business. I'm going to return. We are going to hopefully play this Dessel Sport game as part of this episode as well. I don't know how long episode 1's going to be. So if it's not in there, I apologise right now. But yeah, basically, I want to try and get the Dessel Sport game in. If not, there'll be episode 2 later on today. That's my promise to you. It's now the 1st of September. We have gone all the way through pre-season. We've done transfers, a lot of transfers. We'll get onto those in just a moment. We are ready to play our first match of the season against Dessel Sport. And because of all of our signings, we've gone from being, 12th, 11th place predicted to finish in the league to being favourites. There's a lot now riding on this. Let's have a look then at the players that have left the club first. I don't know why I said players, plural, because we're not going to go through plural of players. Boris Leemans, the young 15-year-old central midfielder, attacking midfielder, whatever, who we basically got at the start of the game for free, has left and gone to Charleroi. We had nothing to do with this, but we did pick up £16,250, which is better than nothing. There's also, you can see here, there's lots of people leaving on various loan deals. I mean, lots. Most of these I think might have been us. We've loaned out a lot of people. We've also brought in and loaned in a lot of people. This is going to take some time. We've raided our former team, Africa Sports, from FM20. So there's quite a few players that I think if you were playing this like by using the scouting systems and so on like that, you wouldn't have found them. But because I kind of knew Africa Sports had some decent players, I picked up some good players. Right then, goalkeeper first. Bright Munthali has signed on loan from Silver Strikers, who I think are also from Mali. He has come in as a backup because we've also loaned a different goalkeeper from Africa Sports. And that is Ruben Yellow. He is on loan from Africa Sports until the end of the season. All of these loan deals are pretty much costing us no money as well. I don't quite understand how we managed to do it. But yeah, we've done some really good business. Ruben Yellow is probably going to be our number 1 keeper for the season. 21-year-old Nigerian central defender Kenneth Namandi is also signed from Africa Sports until the end of the season. I think he's good. We've got a lot of centre-backs. Basically, I put a lot of effort into trying to sign defenders to try and strengthen our position at the back, basically, because that's where we were the weakest. So there's a lot that might not get some games, even though when I originally signed them, I was expecting they would. Namandi might be one of those. Sticking with Africa Sports, this time Vieira Traore, the 23-year-old Ivorian striker, has joined until the end of the season. Probably will be a backup, might get some time off the bench. Verite Nsangu is a 20-year-old Dutch central defender on loan from Dordrecht. He definitely won't play. In fact, can we cancel this? I don't think we can because the window's shut. No. So, yeah, he's not going to play, but he's here. He's all right. Karof Sogbossi is a 25-year-old Beninian, or Beninese? Beninese, apparently. I thought it was Beninian. Beninese left back and centre back. Again, one of those players that before I signed him, I thought he'd get some games, and then we've basically kind of got players better than him. But he's still good enough. He'll get a few games here or there. Benson Sakala has joined on loan from Zambian side Power Dynamos. He is a Zambian central midfielder with 14 caps to his name. I think Sakala's going to be pretty decent for us. We've strengthened our midfield. To be honest, we've strengthened absolutely everywhere, but Sakala will probably get a fair amount of football this season. On loan from a divisional rival, I believe, is Roel Tambour, who is a 25-year-old Belgian right-back, might be our number one right-back for the season. He's all right. He's 2.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. I think we might need to play, like, fullbacks is kind of where we struggle. Tambour's probably going to get a lot of games. And on the opposite flank, we have Jan Vrijsen, maybe. I'm going with Vrijsen. Vrijsen kind of seems alright, doesn't it? 24 years old, Belgian left-back and centre-back. He's probably going to be a left-back for the most part. I think these are a divisional rival as well. Patro Eisden Mamichelen, maybe? But yeah, he's probably going to get a fair amount of football also. Nathan Duriu is next from France Borins. Those guys. He's a 22-year-old Belgian winger. I brought him in to be a backup as the attacking midfielder in the middle. That's going to be his role. Probably won't get a lot of football, but he'll get some. We're actually paying some of his wages for some reason. We've actually signed somebody on a permanent deal as well. Florian Gendibien. Gendibien, maybe? Gendibien. That's what we're going to go for. He was available on a free transfer. He's going to be a backup on the right-hand side. We've got lots of good players basically all over the pitch, but I want to have two for every position. He is our second right winger. He might actually be the left winger. He's a winger. Another free transfer is 21-year-old French player, centre-back, defensive midfielder, central midfielder, Ralph Ralph. It's not even Ralph, is it? This guy, he's in. He's brought in because he's got potential. He's one of the few players that I've brought in with the plans of the future. So he might not play a lot this season, but maybe next season he'll get some games and probably a name change. Mamadou Diarra is another example of this. He is a young central defender, 21 years of age, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, brought in on a permanent deal. I think he's all right. I think there's definitely something there. Mentally, he's got some good numbers. Physically, he's got some reasonable numbers as well. Technically is what lets him down, but we are in the Belgian 3rd division. That might not be a problem. Jorginho Suarez is next through the door, formerly of Heerenveen, a Dutch central defender who I think is probably a bit too good for our team. He is 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, signed on a permanent deal, will probably get a lot of football. He hasn't played any pre-season games for us because we literally signed him about 4 days ago, but Suarez, I think, is probably one of our best signings. He's not our best signing, we'll get to him in just a second. Ousmane Diallo is another one of many players joining on loan from Africa Sports. He is an Ivorian right winger. He's probably going to get a lot of football, isn't he? Because he's actually very good. 4-star current and potential ability for Ousmane. And the final player to join, if you watch the Africa Sports save, you'll know how good this man is. And I'm surprised we managed to get him on loan. It's Pacoma Zazua. He's joined until the end of the season. I almost got him in at the start of pre-season, but he rejected it. And I was thinking, oh, that's not ideal. And he rejected it because he basically went, Rupel Boom not good. So I tried again near the end of the transfer window, and he went, hold on, you're a much better side now because we've strengthened massively. So now Pacoma Zazua is in. He has one Ivory Coast cap to his name. He is going to be probably the first name on the team sheet for us. He is absolutely superb. He is far too good for this level of football. We are hopefully going to have a good season. You can't quite see everyone because I'm kind of in the way, but yeah, there's been a lot of transfers joining the club. A lot of players as well leaving the club, some on loan, some on free transfers as well. And if we have a look at finances here, I've trimmed our wage spending. We've basically chopped off about £1,500 off of our wages through loan deals. Basically loaning players out for all of their wages and then loaning people in for no wages means that we have basically, we're making profit every month in theory. We have just lost a lot of money. What do we lose money for? I don't know why we lost a whole load of money in in the end of August. I don't know what happened there, but we did. And yeah, you know, I mentioned earlier about how we were not one of the best teams in the league. Season preview now, we are the best team in the league. We are, in theory, the best team by a fair distance as well, I'd say, over Patro, Eisden, Mechelen, those guys. Why am I playing in Belgium? I can't pronounce Belgian names. This is going to be fun. But yeah, we're the favourites. We're the favourites to win the entire thing. In the Dream 11, we've got Zazua and we have Polizzi, and that is all we've got. They've said as well, if we sort by team here, if we have a quick look, Zazua and Diallo are our 2 star players. If we then select us here, they say 4-4-2. We're not playing a 4-4-2. But yeah, I think we've got probably a good squad. I think we've got a good squad. Last season, apparently, they were 9th with 31 points. This season, as long as we're top 4. Top 4 is what we need. Top 4 is basically enough to get us into that playoff. Promotion might happen in Season 1. Let's go forward a bit further. Let's play our first game of the season against Dessel Sport, who are expected to finish 8th in the table. Let's go forward to that. Here we go then. Match number 1 of the Rupel Boom save. It all begins here. And looking at our starting lineup, there's a lot of blue there, isn't there? We've loaned in pretty much a first team, all but 4 players. It is going to be Ruben Yellow in goal. A back 4 of Tambur, Suarez, Namdi and Vryson as that back 4 with Zazua alongside Yarek Sharsens in the middle of the pitch. Ousmane Diallo, Duru and Polizzi will be our attacking midfielders with Bernardina. That's going to be a difficult name. Bernardina. He will be our striker today. On the bench, we have some players. We're probably not going to see a huge amount of them. Traore will be coming off the bench, I suspect, at some point. And Sangu as well, who I think he's good, actually. He's not awful, is he? We've also got Shimanga, who is probably going to come on maybe for Diallo at some point. We have got, I think, a good squad. And there's no limits to the amount of loan players that we can have in our starting 11 or even on the bench. So, maybe for the first 2 or 3 seasons, we might be utilising a lot of loan players. Let's play Dessel Sport. We should do alright, but all of these players are new, bar Polizzi and Sharsens. Oh, and Bernardina. Still can't get it right. First team talk then. We will teapot stance as we always do. I expect to win. People didn't really care too much, but that is fine. Now, I'm hoping, because obviously we've loaned a lot of players from Africa Sports, I'm hoping that the chemistry still exists there. I'm hoping that's not going to be a problem for us. We are also, weirdly, the first game of the season. Us versus Dessel Sport is the only match taking place at the moment. Tambur's throw doesn't find Rupel Boom shirt. Zazua has it. Back to Zazua once again. Our socks are confusing me. One side's blue, one side is white. Tambur in the middle, plays it on the ground to Bernardina, across to Polizzi, back to Duru. Duru to Bernardina, and Bernardina's effort is just wide of the post. First chance of the save goes very close for Bernardina. 15 minutes now played. Yellow drops the ball to his feet. Suarez, the Dutch centre-back, back to the Ivorian goalkeeper. What are we doing? Ruben, wake up, buddy. Namdi, he's got it inside the penalty area. He plays it on the ground to Sharsens, across to Zazua. Is he going to do a little run? Plays it on the ground, actually, to Juriu. Juriu across to Ousmane Diallo. Cuts inside. Juriu gets the ball back. We've got a right back making a run. Sharsens, is he going to go right or left? He goes back instead. Why did he go backwards? Juriu once again, this time finds Polizzi on that left-hand side. Probably still one of our star players. Lovely little bit of run there. Vryson to Zazua. Back to Vryson. We need some options. Zazua plays it to Diallo. The 2 Ivorians connecting. And Diallo almost puts it in the back of the net. Instead, we win ourselves a corner. It's going to be Polizzi right-footed to take it towards the 6-yard box. It's a header clear from Dessel. Well, so far, so good. Dessel have yet to have a shot. We have had 7, 4 of them on target. We probably should be 1-0 up if you go by the XG as well. We're just looking really good. We just need to find that clinical touch and get that first goal. Diallo to Tambur. He's going to go into the middle to Yarek Sharsens. Sharsens to Bernardina. Juriu to Sharsens again. Juriu playing just behind the strikers. Zazua finds Tambur on that right-hand side. Polizzi's in there at the back post. Bernardina's also in there. Sharsens is there. Lovely touch. It's taken a deflection. It's found its way into the back of the net. And Yarek Sharsens has scored the first goal of the save. We are 1-0 up away from home against Dessel Sport. We are top of the league, obviously, because we're the only match that's playing and we're winning it. But we are looking really, really good. Half-time then, look at the XG, look how good we've been. Arguably we should be 2-0 up. We've had 10 shots, 6 on target. I'm happy with the performance so far. We're just going to go straight into the second half. Need to keep an eye on fitness, but I think at the moment everyone seems to be doing alright. Right, 62 minutes on the clock. We're going to do a couple of changes. We are going to bring on Traore, and we're going to do it for Diallo. And then we're just going to swap you two over. So Bernardino is going to go onto the right-hand side. Traore is going to come on as a striker. I want to bring off Juriu, but I realise I didn't put an attacking midfielder on the bench. We do have a couple of other options, but neither of them can play in the middle. Can Polizzi play in the middle? He can. Okay, right. This is what we're going to do then. So Polizzi is going to move into the middle. Juriu is going to come off. We're going to do Shimanga. I'm not going to lie. Shimanga's coming on because I can say his name. I can't say Gendebian. Gendebian. That's probably what it is. That's our substitutes for now. We've still got plenty of time. Ideally, I'd like a second goal. And maybe a highlight in the second half. I didn't want to highlight for Dessel Sport, though. They do have themselves a throw in a very good position, actually. Dufour crosses the ball in. It's in the back of the net. They've had one highlight and scored the damn goal. We should have scored like 3 or 4 in this game. Let's give them a demand more. Or fire them up. Fire them up. Maybe that's a good thing to do. That's not ideal, is it? They've had 1 shot on target and scored. We've had 9 with an XG of 2.05 and we've got 1 as well. Time is almost gone. It's looking like it's going to be a 1-1 draw in the opening game of the season. Which we deserved way more than that. Way, way more than what we got there. Well done, lads. I'm going to say well done, okay? Because they're new. Most of them probably don't even speak the language. We did alright. We've got a point. It's better than no points. I would have liked 3, but at least we scored. We should have scored like 3 or 4. I've gone forward to the end of Sunday just so we can see how the first fixtures went. And yeah, we are 9th in the table. Quite a few draws by the looks of it. So yeah, from 5th down to 10th, all on just 1 point. 4 teams at the top of the table with victories. It's a long old season. We've still got plenty of games to go. In fact, we play 6 games? No, 28 games. We play each team twice. So 14 times, 14 teams play them twice. And then possibly there might be 6 more games on top of that. So it's actually a relatively short season. Next episode, what we are going to do then, I think we might go forward to possibly these 2 matches here. I'm not sure why I'm picking against teams that I'm not going to be able to pronounce their names. Mars Mechelin and Le Louvre. Le Louvre, that's the place in France, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to be playing around there. What I'm going to try and do, the first probably 4, 5, maybe 6 seasons, depending on how long it takes us to actually get out of the 3rd tier, we might go through fairly quickly. And I will say to you now, don't get too attached to some of the players because I imagine the first few seasons as well, there's going to be a bit of a revolving door until we suddenly can start affording to buy players, basically. That is what I'm expecting to do. So yeah, we're going to go forward to somewhere in October, I think, for episode 2, which will probably be out on Thursday. So I've kind of got a schedule that I'm hopefully going to stick to. We will see if I manage to do that. So that is going to do it then for episode 1 of Rupel Boom or Bust. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. If you are new here and you're excited for this season, do remember, hit the subscribe button, click the bell. You know how it works. So you get notified whenever a new video has been released. Also, do check out some of the other stuff as well that I am doing on the channel. There is a save with Southampton that was 3 seasons. It basically was all the way through the beta and a little bit into the full game as well. Also, there is a save with Borussia Dortmund going on at the same time. So go back and check out that if you haven't seen it either. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.